Welcome to Be Live 365. I'm Pastor Jake. We're in Matthew chapter 23, verses 1 through 7 for a Bible study. And Jesus talking to the multitude and his disciples, and he's talking about the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the priests of the temple. He says, observe what they say. What he means by that is what they're coming out of the Word of God, out of their scroll then, but we call it, for us, it would be the Bible. He says, observe what they say and do as they say, but don't do as they do. He said, because of their traditions and their doctrine and their religion, he said they just give you heavy burdens on people. He said, they want to be them people who dress nice and dress so like they're somebody. He said, when they're not. He said, because Jesus is always big about he's a servant. Even though he is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, when he came to earth, he came as a servant. And he's telling about this. He said, these people, all they want is the cheap, best seats in the house. They want to be noted. They want people to come down and say, well, hey there, Rabbi, or hey there, Pastor. And he said, you can't observe this stuff. You cannot be into there. And one thing he says, at the end of it, he said, they like this. He said, but don't call these men Rabbi. Don't call them Pastor. Don't call them priest. Don't call them, because when you do, you're giving the authority over you. He said, in the end, and this is my summary of this is, Jesus saying, look, don't pay attention to religions and traditions and doctrines. He said, the Word of God is the only thing you need. You don't need anybody over you. I hear so many times is that, well, the pastor does something in church and they say, well, am I saved now? They think their salvation is because of pastors and priests and this, but it's not. It's because of Jesus Christ. It's not because of some person. And these people, that's what these people were doing, these chief priests and all this stuff. That's what they were doing. They were telling that they were the authority before God. And that's where they're wrong. You only have one master. You only have one God, one King, one Lord of Lords, and that's Jesus Christ.